Hey guys, welcome back to episode 9 of the Sidetrack series. My name is the Carter712, and I hope that you guys enjoyed our last episode building our Nether Highway. Dude, I can't believe that we're already almost on to the 10th episode here of the Sidetrack series. The starter base is turning out amazing so far. I did go through the other day and did a little bit more landscaping here around the place, and we added a few more trees here and there, as well as a bunch more flowers. Did some bone mealing, and then we also went through and added a bunch of this moss just kind of sporadically through the grass to add a little bit more variation. We built up some of these rocks and added buttons all over the place to kind of act as smaller rocks like on the pathways and stuff here, kind of like there's little pebbles and stuff laying around. I also went through and let's run over here to this pine tree. And we went through and added the coarse dirt like around the pine trees and underneath all of them, because when I was growing up I had pine trees around my house and they never grew grass underneath them. They tend to kill everything that's underneath them, so I thought it'd be a cool little detail to add the coarse dirt down here underneath our pine trees as well. Alright, so now that it's nighttime, we can see that I went through and I added lanterns along the edges of all the pathways going all the way down into the starter base. And that's actually looking like really nice as now that I'm looking at it at nighttime from up here at our little gate that we built a few episodes back. But I wanted to make sure that the whole starter base down here was lit up well enough that we could let our villagers roam free around the village, and then if they can't pathfind back into their houses at nighttime to get to their beds, that we're not going to have to worry about them turning into zombie villagers like right away. And I think it's doing pretty well right now. I'm not seeing too many mob spawns down there, at least not on the pathways right now. But I did forget when we built this gateway over to the wool farm that we left this horse up here, and he does not have a name. So if you guys would like to help me pick a name for our horse here, leave a comment down below and we will pick one of those in our next upcoming video. But I think for this episode of the Sidetrack series, we're going to work on getting our villagers in those other two houses down here in the starter base that we built a few episodes back and getting some functionality built into those houses. Alright guys, so we've had this villager locked over here in the starter base for quite some time now, and I think it's time that we finally cure this guy and use him as a villager down in the starter base. So we have our splash potion of weakness and our golden apple. We just need to break into here, throw the splash potion on him, and give him the golden apple, and now he'll start vibrating, and we just gotta wait for this guy to turn back into a villager. Alright, Lenny, you're finally cured. So we got our villager cured, and we finally got that zombie doctor achievement. So now we're gonna take this guy down to the second house that we built a few episodes back and turn him into a cleric that we can trade all of our rotting flesh to get emeralds to use over here in our trading hall. Alright, so we're down here at house number 2 now. And before we move this villager down in here, we need to do a little bit of decorating on the inside of this house. Hello, Enderman. We haven't done anything in here since we built the house, so I want to set up an area for him to sleep, a couple workstation areas, and then maybe some areas where it looks like we're doing some trading with him, like he's got a little shop out of his house. So I'm going to get some of this stuff done, and we will be right back. Man, do I love doing interiors on Minecraft. They're probably one of the harder things to do, but I love just throwing on a podcast and letting the creative juices just start flowing, and I think our cleric's house here turned out really nice. So as we come in the door, we have a nice little waiting room where people can come in, check in, and ring the bell to get the cleric's attention, and then he can let them back here into his little shop where we have a secondary waiting room in case the shop's busy. That way the entryway doesn't get all clogged. People have somewhere to kind of hang out and wait for their turn to come into the shop to buy all their goods like their redstone and their glowstone. And then the cleric has his little workstation back here where he can sell to all of his customers, and then he's storing all of his rotten flesh up here in the chest above him. And then if we come here into the back room, we have a nice little bedroom for him where he's working on some projects on his tables, and he also has a nice little place to sleep. I think this turned out really nice. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments what you think of our little cleric's house here, but we need to go get him from up in the storage building. So let's go grab our villager and let's bring him to his new home. All right, Lenny, are you ready to become a cleric and move down into your new home? We do have a little bit of a backstory here to Lenny's name. In my very first Minecraft world, when I started playing around with villagers, my very first ever Minecraft villager was named Lenny, and he ended up turning into a zombie villager, which I didn't know was a thing at the time, and we ended up having to cure him. So it's kind of just became tradition in all of my Minecraft worlds to name our first villager Lenny. So what do you say? Let's get Lenny down into his new home, get him his new profession, because he's been locked up here in the storage building for quite some time now. Well, that wasn't too bad at all. That was actually pretty easy to get Lenny down. He's now in his new home, and we are going to keep him blocked in for the time being, just until we get the rest of the starter base all done out here and lit up, so that way we don't lose Lenny right away. So it looks like Lenny is exploring his new house, and so far he looks to be loving it. I think it's going to suit him really well, and it's going to help us out a lot being able to trade all of our rotting flesh for emeralds to use in the trading hall. Well, I think that is going to do it here for episode 9 of the Sidetrack series. We got another house completed, and we got another villager down in the starter base. I think Lenny is going to enjoy it down here, especially compared to the little glass box that he was living in up in our storage building up there. If you've made it this far into the episode, you're the best. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And I think in our next episode, we will finish up this third house down here in the starter base, get a villager down in here, and figure out what kind of trade or profession we can give him that'll be useful for us down here in the starter base. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next episode.